Welcome back to the 306 Podcast. My name is Scott. I am having a horrible time today getting this intro out. This is literally the fifth time that I've had to restart it because I just, for whatever reason, cannot talk today. And so this might be an interesting podcast. This is the second time I've recorded this portion of it because it's just I went off script. And anyways, if this is your first time watching this podcast, I'm normally not this discombobulated, but thank you for stopping in. Hopefully you get some enjoyment out of it. Hopefully you watch the whole way through and you get something out of it that you can use today and for the rest of your life. Hopefully that's our goal. If you are a local, if you're someone that's been trekking with us, thank you so much for coming back. If you want to become a local, just subscribe, like this video. Write a comment down below, and we'll connect with you. We want to talk to you. We want to learn about you, see how we can help you, if we can help you. And the purpose of this podcast, the purpose of 306 Podcast, is to help lead yourself and others, regardless of where you are in life. And so we want to find ways that we can help you lead better in your life. Because regardless of where you are, whether you're in high school, college, you're married, newly into the job force, or maybe you're later on in life, or wherever you are, you have the opportunity to lead, and so you might as well lead well. And so that's what we're trying to do here at the 306 Podcast. And so this is our 30th episode, and so we're wrapping up. This is the season 1 finale, I guess, of the 306 Podcast. And so we're trying to figure out where are we going to go next? What are some things that, like, we've been talking a lot about leadership, and so we're going to wrap that up today. But where are we going to go in season 2? And so I'd love to hear some of your thoughts and feedback on some of the topics that you would like to see us cover in season 2, and we're definitely going to start putting that together for you. So we're going to be taking 2 weeks off, and we'll be back after Labor Day. And what I'm going to be doing over those 2 weeks is, one, spending time with family, spending time with friends, investing in those relationships, being intentional with those relationships. And number 2, I'm going to be putting together some additional content, like the Thought Spot series that I've been talking about now for 30 weeks, the Conviction podcast that I've been talking about for 30 weeks. I'm going to be doing some work on my personal YouTube page, so there's a link down below that you can go subscribe to that, and putting some of those videos out, as well as working on season 2. So we're just going to be looking at how we can make the 306 Podcast better. And if you've watched many of our podcasts, if you go back to episodes like 1 and 2, I think, we did this like 3-camera shoots, like guerrilla style tactics. It doesn't look as great as it could, doesn't sound as great as it could. Like, some of the audio is actually off in some of the videos. So we went back to 1 camera, and then we added 2 cameras like a quarter of the way through, or halfway through the season. And now we have a full 3-camera podcast. It looks completely different, and I'm hoping that it looks a lot better than what it did. And so we're hoping to see some additional growth as we continue going throughout next season. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing. And I'm not quite sure where we're going yet, but we're going to go somewhere. And so I'd love to hear your feedback on that. But while I'm thinking about all of that, I started thinking, what are we doing here? Are we leaving an impact? And is this leaving a legacy? And if you do a Google search, you're going to see that leaving a legacy is one of the biggest things that men think about. They think about, how am I going to leave my impact on this world? How are people going to remember me? And so it got me thinking, like, what am I doing? Am I leaving anything? Am I making an imprint? And I want to say this. It's not just for men. It's for men and women both. And yes, you're leaving an imprint on this world, whether you know it or not. And for me, I would say it's going to be with my family, my friends, my boys, my kids, my wife, family, I get it. And then it's going to be with my businesses. How am I running my business? What are my businesses doing that they're going to leave an imprint? And so I got thinking about this and why we want to leave a legacy. I don't know. Maybe it's because we want to feel good about ourselves. We want to say, oh, I did something. Legacies can be bad. I think most of us want to leave a good legacy. I mean, at least I do. Maybe we want to feel known. We say, what, I want to leave a legacy because I want people to know me. I want people to remember me. And then I think maybe it's because we're scared. that we'll be forgotten. That if we don't make a real big splash in this world, that soon after we're gone, we'll be forgotten. And that's a scary thing. So today I want to talk about a couple of things that I'm striving for. And I hesitate to call them legacies because I'm not looking to make a huge splash in the world. But I am looking to make an impact on some people's worlds. And so I want to talk about that today. And I'll start with some easy ones, with Visual Element Media and loveLocal. So Visual Element Media, these are the two companies that I own. Visual Element Media is an internet marketing company. And I guess what I want to do is straight from the reason I started the company. And it was because I want small businesses to have a voice. And I want, even after I'm gone, I want small businesses to know that they have a voice. And so we're trying to work with small businesses, with small companies, and show them how to use their voice. And whether that's through digital marketing, whether it's through traditional marketing, whatever the method is, we specialize in digital marketing. But we want to train small businesses to use their voice. Because every small business has a story. And before this turns into a commercial for Visual Element Media, I'll just quickly go through it. Every small business has a voice. Every small business is unique unto themselves. And we want to help them spread that message through as many means as possible. And for us, that mostly comes down to social media and through video. That's what we target. So that's Visual Element Media. That's what I'm looking to do with that company. With loveLocal, with this, what do I want this to be? I want this to be an opportunity for people to come together, for people to share themselves, for people to learn how to improve their skills and their abilities. I want loveLocal to be a place where people can come and learn about their faith, to learn about their how to improve their faith, how to improve their business life. How can I be a better employer? How can I be a better employee? And then how can I be a better husband, a better spouse, a better kid? That's the imprint I want to leave here. Now for some more personal ones. And I think for me, I think what I want people to remember me by is by, not that I'm dying or anything. Why I'm like talking about this like I want people to remember me, but there are things that you start thinking about, right? And so here's the thing: I want people to look at me even while I'm living, obviously, and I want them to say Scott's intentional with his time. Whether it's my time, whether it's my resources, with my talents, with my finances, with relationships, I want to be intentional. Whenever I'm doing something, I want to make the most out of it as possible. And that doesn't mean that I want to control everything, because sometimes that can be, you just want to be able to control everything about you. No. And I think a perfect example of that was yesterday. I want to be intentional. Some friends of ours, Mark and Amanda, asked us to go up to Del Grosso's. It's a family amusement park with our boys. And so we have 2 kids, they have 3 kids, and then they had some other friends and family, and so there was a ton of little kids around. And my wife said to me on the way up, "This is for the kids." And then when we got there, I'm thinking, I know this is for the kids, but I could be doing something else, or I could be whatever. And so then my boys get on the first little ride, and they're going around, and their faces just light up. And they are just loving it. And I thought to myself, here are my kids, and I get to see them enjoying this. And so I want to be intentional in making sure that they get the most out of this day as possible. Now, there are limitations to this because, after being there for several hours, kids start getting tired, kids start complaining and whining. Adults start complaining and whining and getting tired. And so you need to know when to get this together, because the kids, even though they're screaming and crying that they want to go on more rides, you at some point need to cut that cord a little bit. But this was a great example. I got to spend some intentional time with friends. I got to spend some intentional time watching my kids enjoy life. I tried very, very hard not to be on my phone. I took a couple of pictures. I think that's fine. I want to remember these things because, let's face it, I am getting older. I'm going to start forgetting these things. I hit 30 this year, and so I'm going to be forgetting things all the time now. 30's for whatever reason, 30 is a really scary age for me. But I don't know. I don't want to get into that right now. So it's like I wanted to stay off my phone. I wanted to actually firsthand witness. I don't want to live vicariously through my phone, but being able to see my kids' reaction, by being able to see my kids interact with their friends, by being able to interact with my friends, with Mark and Amanda, and talk with them, and then see my kids go in the water and just enjoy the day. Being intentional about soaking up that day was important to me. Did I do the best that I possibly could? No. Is it something that I'm going to learn from? Of course. But it's something that the next time we go, I can be a little bit more intentional. And so I know one of the big draws of people becoming popular, and they want to leave a big legacy for people so that they are well known or whatever the thing is, and people are saying, oh, well, it's not really leaving a legacy unless, I have fame or fortune or power or popularity or whatever it is. And I would just caution you. I would say, you know what, if that's how you identify leaving a legacy, then look at how many people have achieved that, and the legacy that they left was that they left this world poor, broke, miserable, or insufferable, or they suffered the latter part of their life, or they just couldn't handle it. And that's a very scary thing too. And I would say if that's what leaving a legacy is, having fame, fortune, popularity, I don't want it. What I want to do is value what I have. I want to be intentional with the people that I spend my time with. I want to be intentional with the resources that I have, the talents that I have, and so on and so forth. If I find value in drinking coffee with my wife out on our front porch, then I want to be intentional with that. I want to spend a good quality amount of time doing that. If it's going out and our Sunday school group just did a kayaking and canoe trip. If that's what my wife likes to do, I want her to be able to do that. She was unable to do that, but I want her to be able to do that. I forget what happened, but anyways, so I want to be able to afford the people in my life the opportunities to do the things that they want to do. And so it takes a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of effort. It's going to involve failing on a daily basis. Like I failed yesterday. I'm going to fail today. I'm going to fail tomorrow. But you need to be learning from those failures. You need to pick up. I heard something from someone that went like this. They said, I don't mind if you fail. I don't mind if you fail every day. I don't mind if you fail a couple of times a day. What I do mind is when you don't get back up and try again. If you fail and you stay down and you stay miserable and you stay defeated, that's where I care. That's where I say, all right, that's it. But if you continually get up and brush yourself off and strive to do better the next time, I'm good with you failing, because I know that you're going to improve each and every time. And so you might be saying, you want to be intentional with all of your relationships. You want to be intentional with your businesses. You want to be intentional with your time and your talents and your finance. That sounds like way too much work. And what does it even get you in life? And that's a good question. It's a really good question. So I take the people I have in my life, the couple dozen people that I'm really involved with in this life, and I pour into them. I'm intentional with them. I'm intentional with my work. I'm intentional with my time. I'm really concerned with where my money is going. I'm concerned with how I'm using my talents. I'm concerned with how I'm investing in my boys and how I'm investing in my wife. But why? What does that get you? What does that get me? How does that benefit me in this life? What good is it going to do? And yeah, those are good questions. But they're the wrong questions because they have a completely wrong outlook. That doesn't mean that I'm not looking to enjoy my life and I'm not looking for enjoyment just because I don't want it to be concentrated on what I get out of it. But if I have people that are holding me accountable, they're being intentional with me, I'm being intentional with my talents, and I get to use those talents, and I get to have the resources and the finances to put places. I have people that love me, that care about me, they want the best for me. How's that not an enjoyable life? How can you look at that and be like, yeah, I don't want that. I don't want people to care about me. I don't want to give my time and resources to things that are valuable to me. So what? You want to give your time and your resources and all of that to people that don't care about you? To things that you don't care about? You don't want to use your talents? You just want to sit there and hate what you do? I don't think that that's beneficial. But then you have people that say, well, I mean, you want to spend a lot of time with people and you want to be intentional with people, but they're just going to let you down. Yeah, they are. And I'm going to let them down. So it's kind of a wash. But we're called to love, to forgive. We're called to get over those little things. And if you're striving for the same things in life, you're going to get over them pretty quick. And that's why you need to be held accountable by multiple other people so they can say, hey, I know that you're kind of bummed about what so-and-so did, but you got to get over it, dude. You got to forget about it. So what do I get out of it? I'll say this. I want to see my family benefit because of what we find valuable in life, by what we're intentional with in our lives. If I can pour that into my kids, and if my friends can pour that into their kids, and then they grow up, and then whenever they start having families of their own, that's something that's important to them, that's something that they're valuing, that's something that they're striving to do, and then they pour that into their kids and their kids and then into their kids. Do you see how that multiplies? Do you see how by my wife and I doing that for my sons, it goes from 2 to 4? From friends of ours that have 3 kids or 4 kids, they do that and it goes from 2 to 8. And it just multiplies down. It's not about what I get out of it. It's about what my kids are going to learn from it. But here's the other thing too. We live in such a digital connected world that if we're being purposeful and we're being intentional with what we're doing, other people can see that through other means, through what we're posting on social media, through what we're posting on the internet, and they can see that and they can say, you know what? I want to be inspired to do that too. Or I'm inspired to do that too. I mean, it's how you're watching this podcast. You're watching it through the internet, through social media. So let me challenge you. Be intentional. Look at the relationships that you have. Look at the areas that you're spending your time. Look at the places you're spending your money and say, is this of value to me? And if it's not, maybe you need to reconsider. If the people that you're spending your time with aren't pouring into you, aren't being of value to you, I'm not saying you need to leave them. I'm saying maybe you try pouring into them a little bit more. And if they aren't receptive, then maybe you do need to reconsider. But be intentional. Make the commitment. But that's just your time. How can you be intentional with your talents? Are you using your talents to the highest potential? And you can get to this level once you start connecting with some people and they're holding you accountable. They can say, hey, Scott, you're really good at XYZ. Why aren't you doing more with it? Oh, I don't know what else to do with it. Well, what about this? That's how you can work together. That's how you can do that. For me and the people that I'm tracking with, I mean, our first and foremost intentional relationship is with Jesus. I mean, he is who we are striving to follow. He is who we are striving. He's who we are striving to. And as we take a couple of weeks off, as we start to launch season 2, we're going to be looking at how we can better invest, how we can be more intentional with you, with our viewers. And I hope that while we're doing that, you're taking this challenge seriously. Please let us know the types of comments. Please let us know the types of comment. I just did it again. Please let us know the types of content you would like to see us produce. Some of the things that we can help you with, some of the areas that you're struggling with in life, maybe some of the things that you could use some help and encouragement with, and let us know what they are, and we will do our best to start creating that kind of content for you. I'm going to end this before I start just like completely speaking crazy. I told you it was going to be an interesting podcast, and hopefully you just didn't get some humor because I don't know how to talk, but hopefully you found some value. Maybe hopefully you're evaluating some of those relationships, some of those places you're spending your time, some of those places you're spending your talents and your resources, your money. And you're saying, is this giving me value? And is it giving you positive value? Or is it giving you temporary value? All of those things that I mentioned today are long-lasting value. Pouring into relationships, using your talents, using your finances for long-lasting results. If you're not using your time, talents, resources for things that are going to last for a while, maybe they're in the wrong place. But that's something that you have to decide. And in season 2, I'm hoping that we can pick up. We're going to look to do a lot more with more people on the show and being a little bit more, I don't even know the words yet, but maybe a little bit more engaging. That's what we're looking for with our audience. So I would just encourage you, connect with us on all of our social medias, loveLocal PA. Connect with us there. We're going to be posting things there as well. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this podcast, you got something out of it, please subscribe. Turn on those notifications so that you get notified. Share this with someone who could use some encouragement. And if you haven't had the chance to catch up on some of our other podcasts, I would encourage you to do that as well. And we'll put all of our links to all of our socials down in the description below, as well as the link to my personal YouTube channel. And you can also visit our website, loveLocalPA.com. It has all of our content there right for you on demand. And we would love to have you be a neighbor in our neighborhood, so become a local. Just like, subscribe, connect with us on social media, and always be looking for the opportunity to lead others and lead them well. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in season 2.